It wasn't until the Prophet Noble Drew came on the scene to bring back our nationality, and he tried to do it civically. But the key to the puzzle was when he reorganized our organization as a religious corporation, a religious society, so to speak, in 1928. When he reorganized us as a religious society, he knew then that he had us in perfect position to regain our nationality back unmolested and be recognized as a real citizen of the United States of America. The reason why we mention 1870 is because 1870 is the year that the naturalization laws came in, 5 years after slavery was ended. However, we have to realize and accept that when slavery was ended in 1865, and we said this many times, many of our people were illiterate in terms of the mass majority of our people didn't read, didn't write, had no knowledge of reading and writing. There was a group who did read and write, and there were also people shortly after the 1865 groups, the abolitionists, who tried to form institutions to teach our people to read and write, and even more so on the peripheral when Booker T. Washington came in. But let's go to 1870 of the naturalization laws, which means that many of the Europeans in the hills and other places that were remote from what would be called urban society, they didn't know what their nationality was. They didn't know. They had no understanding whatsoever. So it was only the ones who were highly educated who had some kind of connection to their nationality. Also the ones who were going back and forth to Europe, all right? The naturalization laws of 1870 says, well, they don't know, so let's just make them all free. This is what they're saying, quote, free white people, unquote. Okay, and that same law said that anyone who was called black, and this is how careful they use the wordage. This is anyone who used the word black is now eligible for citizenship. That one word, eligible for citizenship. And that eligibility would politically thinking, that eligibility would come through the Freedmen's Bureau. Well, we know the Freedmen's Bureau didn't do what it was set up to do as a federal entity. The Freedmen's Bureau handed out blankets and food. It was like a massive Red Cross reconstruction situation to give those war-torn people on all sides some kind of normalcy to their lives again. The Freedmen's Bureau never did make it eligible for our people to get their nationality back. They never made it eligible, so therefore, they never got it. Remember that many of them couldn't read or write. They were lost. It wasn't until the Prophet Noble Drew came on the scene to bring back our nationality, and he tried to do it civically, which was the attempt of the naturalization law of 1870. But he knew from his divine connection to our Lord, Allah Almighty, that wouldn't do it. But the key to the puzzle was when he reorganized our organization as a religious corporation, a religious society, so to speak, in 1928. When he reorganized us as a religious society, he knew then that he had us in perfect position to regain our nationality back unmolested and be recognized as a real citizen of the United States of America, okay? So that being known, that being a fact, our religion became our nationality. Our nationality gave us citizenship in what would be understood as a Jural Society, and that's Jural. We then became an organized political community. Okay, and in the organized political community, we said that we were citizens of the USA, and we proclaimed that, and we were issued a card, a nationality card, an identification card that stated that we were citizens of the USA. He says, I do hereby declare, as a declaration, that we are citizens of the United States of America as a juristic person in a jural society. All right. Now let's look at what jural means. Jural means relating to law or to the administrative of justice, or related to the rights and obligations by law. By law, we are a organized, again, a political community called the Moorish Science Temple of America, which has its divine aspects and its national aspects. Divinely, we have our Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and national, we have the power as a jural society to be recognized as a organized political community, thereby enjoying our political rights as citizens of the United States of America by our religion. So you can't take religion away from Moorish Science Temple of America and expect to be in the safe zone. There's no way you can do that. You may call yourself a Moor American, or you may call yourself this and that. You may say that you're sovereign. None of that applies to what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did for the uplifting of our people to become and be recognized as a citizen under the Jural Society as a juristic person. What does juristic mean? Juristic, pertaining to natural or positive right, or to the doctrine of rights and obligations as a jural relations, pertaining to jurisprudence, juristic, judicial, recognized or sanctioned by positive law, embraced within or covered by the rules and enactments of positive law. The only other jural society that I know of is the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church, who sits in a sovereign state called Italy. The Vatican has a seat on the United Nations, and their seat is recognized as a jural society, being that that's their religion. Okay, so the Moorish Science Temple of America is the same. The Moorish Science Temple of America on paper is a multi-billion-dollar religious society. On paper, multi-billion. The only thing that prohibits us from having that multi-billion as a workable asset in terms of finance is vanity. And amongst us, we have a lot of brilliant people amongst us as Moorish American bosses, very sharp people, young and old, and have so much to give to our plight to be recognized in the government in which we live, which is the United States of America. And that recognition would have to be through Noble Drew Ali. You'd have to come through him to be recognized as a legal, religious society, a jural society, as a juristic person, a citizen. Sovereignty is ours, guaranteed as a jural society, as a juristic person, guaranteed. We don't need to file any other documents. We don't need to file any other affidavits. We have that just by being born and being a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, religious corporation, a jural society.